Look in the mirror. What do you see? You see a human, a Homo Sapien, the last survivor of the great ape family, the clever one, the one who built skyscrapers, split the atom, and walked on the moon. We tell ourselves a comforting story, that we are unique, that we are pure, that when our ancestors marched out of Africa 50,000 years ago, they conquered the world by being smarter, faster, and better than the primitive beasts they encountered. But that story is a lie. Deep inside your cells, hidden within the double helix of your DNA, there is a ghost that has been silent for 40,000 years. If you are of European or Asian descent, you are not 100% human. You are a hybrid. You are a walking, breathing museum of a lost species. They were the Neanderthals. For centuries, we called them monsters. We called them stupid cavemen. We believed we wiped them out in a war for survival. But modern genetics has revealed a shocking twist. We didn't just kill them, we fell in love with them. We slept with them, and their blood still flows in your veins today. So, who were they really? And what parts of you, your skin, your hair, your mood, even your allergies, are actually them? Today, on Lost Origins, we decode the 40,000-year-old secret of the Neanderthal inside you. The first encounter, the alien world. To understand the ghost in your DNA, we have to travel back 45,000 years. The world was a frozen hellscape. Europe was locked in the grip of the Ice Age. For hundreds of thousands of years, this land belonged to them, the Neanderthals. Forget the cartoons. The Neanderthals were the true masters of the North. They had evolved specifically for the cold. They had barrel chests to warm the freezing air. They had immense physical strength, far stronger than any modern human. Their brains were actually larger than ours. They had fire. They buried their dead with flowers. They cared for their disabled. They were not animals. They were us, but different. Then we arrived, Homo sapiens. Our ancestors migrated out of Africa and pushed into the Middle East and Europe. We were tall, slender, and dark-skinned, adapted for the African sun, not the European ice. To a Neanderthal, we must have looked like fragile, alien stick figures. Imagine that first meeting. Two different species of humans staring at each other across a frozen valley. Did they see enemies, or did they see something familiar? For decades, scientists believed this was a war of extermination, the superior sapiens versus the brutish Neanderthals. But the archaeological record shows something strange. We coexisted. For nearly 5,000 years, that's longer than the entire history of the Roman Empire, we lived side by side in Europe. We shared the same valleys. We hunted the same reindeer. And inevitably, on cold winter nights, across the flickering light of campfires, curiosity overcame fear. The forbidden love, the hybrid children. Biology tells us that different species usually cannot mate. A lion and a tiger can make a liger, but the liger is usually sterile. It's nature's way of keeping lines distinct. But sapiens and Neanderthals were close enough, just close enough. In 2010, the Max Planck Institute shocked the world. They sequenced the Neanderthal genome and compared it to modern humans. The result? If you are of European or Asian descent, 1 to 4% of your entire genetic code is pure Neanderthal. Note, people of pure sub-Saharan African descent usually have 0% because their ancestors never left Africa to meet the Neanderthals in Europe. Think about what that percentage means. It sounds small, but genetically it is massive. It means that your great-great-great-great-grandmother was a Neanderthal. It means there were hybrid children. These weren't just random acts of violence or rape, as some dark theories suggest. The genetic integration is too widespread for that. There were families, there were communities where these hybrids were raised. These children were the bridges between two worlds.
They carried the cunning intellect of the Sapiens and the raw physical resilience of the Neanderthals. And here is the most crucial part: natural selection. When our African ancestors arrived in Europe, they were dying. They had no immunity to European diseases. Their skin was too dark to absorb enough vitamin D from the weak northern sun. They were freezing. Mating with Neanderthals wasn't just a romance, it was a survival strategy. The hybrid children inherited the Neanderthal immune system. They inherited the genes for lighter skin and thicker hair. They inherited the ability to survive the cold. Those who didn't mate died out. Those who did became the ancestors of modern Europe. So in a way, the Neanderthals didn't go extinct. They merged with us. They gave us the biological keys to unlock the continent of Europe. But this gift came with a price, because the genes that saved us 40,000 years ago are causing us big problems today.
The gift and the curse. Medical mysteries. Fast forward to 2024. You are sitting in your house, safe and warm, but your body is still fighting the Ice Age battles of your ancestors. Scientists have now mapped exactly which genes we stole from the Neanderthals, and the list is shocking. Do you suffer from seasonal allergies, hay fever? Blame your Neanderthal great-grandfather. The Neanderthal immune system was hypersensitive. It had to be to survive the bacteria of the prehistoric forests. Today, that same system overreacts to pollen and dust, treating them like deadly threats. Your sneeze is a 40,000-year-old battle cry. What about your skin? Studies show that the genes for thicker skin, keratin production, come from them. This was great for resisting the cold and scratches from thorns, but today, it's linked to skin conditions like eczema and keratosis. And then there is the mind. This is the most controversial and fascinating discovery. Specific Neanderthal gene variants have been linked to depression and nicotine addiction. Why? In the Ice Age, a hyper-alert, slightly anxious brain might have kept you alive when tigers were prowling in the dark. The depression gene might have been a mechanism to conserve energy during long winters with no food. Whatever the reason, the chemical structure of your brain has been shaped by a species that hasn't walked the earth for millennia. But it wasn't just allergies and sadness. They gave us something else, something powerful, something that might explain the Vikings. The Viking gene. Red hair and pale skin. When we think of the Neanderthal, we picture a dark, hairy beast. But modern genetics paints a very different picture. In fact, if you saw a Neanderthal walking down the street in Dublin or Edinburgh today, shaved and wearing a suit, you might not even look twice. Because they didn't look like apes, they looked like Vikings. Recent DNA analysis suggests that the genetic mutations for red hair and pale skin likely originated or were accelerated by interbreeding with Neanderthals. Here's the science. When our ancestors left Africa, they had dark skin to protect against the intense equatorial sun. But in Europe, the sun is weak. Dark skin blocks UV rays, preventing the body from making vitamin D. Without vitamin D, bones crumble. Rickets set in. Our African ancestors were dying of bone disease. But the Neanderthals had been in Europe for 300,000 years. They had already evolved. Their skin had turned pale to absorb every scrap of sunlight. Their hair had changed texture to trap heat. When we mated with them, we didn't just share a bed, we stole their adaptation code. The children of these unions inherited the pale skin gene, variants of MCI1. They survived the winters. They grew strong bones. So the next time you see a redhead with freckles and pale skin, you aren't just looking at a Celtic trait. You were looking at the survival mechanism of a lost species that conquered the Ice Age long before us. The artist in the cave. They were not stupid. But looks are one thing. Intelligence is another. For a century, the word Neanderthal has been an insult, a synonym for stupid. We told ourselves that we survived because we were smart, and they died because they were dumb beasts who couldn't talk or think. That was the story.
Until we found the cave of Maltravieso in Spain. Inside this cave, archaeologists found art. Beautiful, deliberate, symbolic art. But when they dated the calcite covering the paint, the machine gave a date that was impossible, 64,000 years ago. There is just one problem with that date. Homo sapiens didn't arrive in Europe until 45,000 years ago. We didn't paint that. They did. Neanderthals were artists 20,000 years before Picasso. They mixed pigments, they wore jewelry made of eagle talons, they buried their dead with rituals, suggesting they believed in an afterlife. And they could talk. Geneticists have found that Neanderthals carried the FOPX2 gene, the exact same language gene that modern humans have. Their throats were constructed to make complex sounds. They didn't just grunt, they sang. They told stories, they named their children. They were human in every way that matters.
The Great Disappearance, genocide or love. So if they were strong, smart, artistic, and well-adapted, where did they go? Why are we here, building cities and recording videos, while their bones turned to dust in museums? Around 40,000 years ago, the Neanderthal population crashed. Within a few thousand years, they were gone. Did we commit the first genocide in history? Did we slaughter them in a prehistoric war? There is no evidence of a large-scale war, no mass graves with spear points and skulls. The truth is likely far more subtle and tragic. We didn't kill them with weapons. We killed them with numbers. Sapiens migrated from Africa in massive waves, thousands upon thousands of us. The Neanderthals were few. They lived in small, isolated groups. When we met, we outnumbered them 10 to 1. We didn't need to fight them, we just absorbed them. Every time a Neanderthal had a child with a Sapien, that child was raised in a Sapien tribe. The Neanderthal lineage got diluted. Generation after generation, the pure Neanderthal blood became thinner and thinner, until one day the last pure Neanderthal died alone in a cave in Gibraltar. But their DNA didn't die. It just hid. It hid inside the children. It hid inside the tribe. It hid inside you. They were not exterminated. They were assimilated. Love killed the beast. The Ghost of the East, the Denisovan mystery. But the Neanderthals weren't the only ghosts we met. While our ancestors were mating with Neanderthals in Europe, another group of sapiens headed east into the vastness of Asia. There they met a different kind of human, a species so mysterious that we didn't even know they existed until 2010. We call them the Denisovans. They were the cousins of the Neanderthals of the East. We have found almost no skeletons of them, only a few teeth and a pinky bone. But their DNA tells a story of survival that is almost superhuman. If you were from East Asia, Melanesia, or hold Tibetan ancestry, you likely carried Denisovan DNA. And just like the Neanderthals gave Europeans pale skin, the Denisovans gave Asians a superpower, the EPAS1 gene. This gene allows Tibetans to live at high altitudes with low oxygen without their blood getting too thick. It is a biological miracle. Without this gift from a ghost species, humans might never have conquered the Himalayas. We stood on the shoulders of giants we didn't even know existed. But not every gift is a blessing. Some are a curse. Remember the Neanderthal immune system? It was built for a world of open wounds and constant infection. It evolved to clot blood fast. If a cave lion scratched you, you needed that wound to close in seconds, or you died. Fast forward to today, we don't fight lions. We sit in chairs. We eat processed food. That same hypercoagulation gene, the one that saved your ancestor from bleeding to death, is now the leading cause of strokes and heart attacks in the modern world. Your blood is still trying to save you from a tiger that isn't there. And in 2020, this legacy turned deadly. A major study revealed that a specific cluster of Neanderthal genes on chromosome 3 is the single biggest genetic risk factor for severe COVID-19. If you carry this ancient DNA, you are 3 times more likely to end up on a ventilator. Think about the irony. The very genes that protected us from ancient viruses for 40,000 years suddenly became our weakness against a modern one. The past is never dead. It is fighting inside your body right now. The conclusion, the mosaic of humanity. So, look in the mirror one last time. What do you see? You are not just a Homo sapien. You are a mosaic. You are a walking, breathing patchwork of every species your ancestors met, fought, and loved. We used to think we were the pure survivors, the lonely winners of the evolutionary race. But the truth is far more beautiful. We are not lonely. We are carrying them with us. The Neanderthals didn't go extinct. They are in your skin. They are in your immune system. They are in the way you think, the way you breathe, and the way you survive. As long as you are alive, they are alive. They are the ghosts in the machine, and they are part of what makes you human. What do you think? Is it comforting or terrifying to know you were part caveman? If you want to know more about the strange history hidden in your blood, check out our deep dive into the Irish DNA paradox right here. This is Lost Origins.